Well, picking out some of the ones to watch there. The two very good Germans. Miriam Dadke, who was in the medals last year in the under-20 ranks. Amy Griffiths, the leading runner returning from this race from last year, finished 5th last year. The very good Dutch runner, Muller, as well. So 6,300 meters, just like the under-20 men. 2 short laps of 1 kilometer, 1,500 meters long lap to follow, 2 of those, and then the final 1,300 meter last lap with the run into the finish. So there we see the Belgians. Rooms Skaunet. 71 runners from 19 countries. There's Vanessa Skaunet from Belgium. Giving a bit of local flavour. Ellen van der Kolk. I think she's feeling the cold a little bit. There's Muller alongside her. Anna Emily Muller. 2017 European Under-20 steeplechase champion. Germany, European champion 5,000 meters, Miriam Dadke. Well, we saw her at the very top of the program getting a bit of advice from one of her coaches, or maybe the family. Was the bronze medalist in the under-20 race last year, also the European junior, should say under-20 these days, 5,000 meter champion back in 2017. Well, Great Britain and Northern Ireland dominated the team standings in this race, winning 10 of the last 12. And remember, the under-23 races have only been in existence for 13 years. Sorry, this is in fact the 13th edition. I've just got my sums a little bit wrong. They've won 10 of the 12 team races over the years.
I think, Phil, this is one of the most open races of the day, both in terms of individual and team placings. I wouldn't like to have to predict a winner, although it would be great for the hosts of the next World Cross Country Championships, who are Denmark, if Muller were to do well here.
Well, Veronica Hezek, top 10 finisher last year in Samarin. She was 8th, the pole at the front. Well, they've strung out very, very quickly once again. We've seen now it's quite traditional now for very quick first 400 metres or so. There's Amy Griffiths. She's the leading returner, as we like to call her. Finished 5th last year. She's the only one of the Britons. There was 5 Britons, in fact, in the top 10 last year, but she's the only one of the Britons to be competing in this particular race again, although last year's bronze medalist Jessica Judd we'll see a bit later on in the mixed relay. There's Poppy Tank. Senechal of France also in the screen. Well, a big bunch compared to perhaps the previous 2 races.
So it's a big group, and first runners in this leading group are Gianna Schera from Switzerland, Veronika Lisic from Poland.
So Vanessa Skaunet, the woman right by the barriers, the Belgian under-20 champion last year. also a very good 1500-metre runner. Moving up, Anna Gedding. Well, both the gold and silver medalists from last year, both Germans, Anna Ray and Constance Klausterhalfen, would have been eligible to compete in this race. Ray, I've got to be honest and say I'm not quite sure why she's not here. Klausterhalfen has chosen to train in the United States.
Germany still have a good presence at these championships. They've just won a medal in the under-20 men's race, and then in the women's race, senior women's race, we've got Elena Burkhardt, who I think is going to be a strong contender.
So Chiara Scherer of Switzerland at the front. Scherer, as we mentioned, like a lot of athletes, came here. Well, Frenchwoman just losing her footing a little bit, but Scherer finished high up, finished 6th in the Tilburg cross-country race, the Varenda Loop, 2 weeks ago. So a pack of about 15 runners there. The bright yellow running apparel of Nemchenko of Ukraine leading the way. In fact, bright yellow vest I was referring to was Nemchenko's teammate, Moroz. Sort of like the dividing line between the leading pack and the rest at the moment. Amy Griffiths starting to push the pace. So it's the two Britons at the front. Well, that was a bit naughty, wearing slightly different vests. I'll have a word with the British team officials. As picked up later, that's obviously... We'll have a look and see who's running without a shoe as we flick back down the pack.
I think it's because one's a crop top and one's a conventional vest. Providing the teams approve the colours, that's all that matters. Obviously, it helps if they are identical, but they are basically the same, I think.
At least there's no Norwegians leading in the leading pack in this race. That could cause some...
Well, the confusing thing I find, Phil, is where there's a different colour at the front to the back, because it looks like two different runners. But I don't think that's the case with any of these designs.
Yeah, I think that was the case. Well, speaking of yes, certainly the Turkish vests do have that where they're white at the back. You can see how the course is starting to get muddier and muddier as the day progresses. This is the third of 7 races. Datka has worked her way up carefully, the young German. Also up there is Rebecca Lonedo. We haven't said much about her so far. She's been racing regularly on the track, but doesn't have many credentials to her name. She did finish 3rd in the Italian 10,000 metres championship. The 22-year-old Italian who's alongside Chiara Scherer at the moment at the front, with Amy Griffiths, the Briton, at the back as they hit the widest stretch of the course. So after those 2 shortish laps of 1 kilometre, they now embark on the first long lap.
De Belgen supporters krijgen veel extra oogwerk, want die zullen vechten zich moeten laten horen om te zorgen dat Vanessa Schrodet.
Do you have any provisional standings on the team race at the moment at this very early stage? With just over 2 kilometers completed, so about a third of the way into the race.
Well, I'm afraid the computers let us down temporarily. Phil.
Matilda Senechal also up there, running well at this stage. French woman. The French under-23 5,000 meter champion. Well, just as I say that, she's starting to drift back a little bit. Gehring, the very good German, finished second in the Darmstadt cross-country meeting recently, which was the de facto German trials. She was racing with the seniors there. So Moller at the moment is quite a long way back in 14th place.
And I can give you some news now on the team standings provisionally. Turkey and Britain very close together at the top, and Germany not far behind, and Spain not too far behind.
Yeah, so just looking out there for the third German scorer, that's going to be crucial. You can see two Germans, Datke and Gehring, leading the way at the moment in the top 10.
I think the third German scorer, Lea Meyer, is at about 25th place. But don't forget, we saw the Norwegian men win with a third runner in that sort of region. So all is not lost.
As you rightly say, very evenly matched at the moment as we're coming up to the halfway point in this race between Turkey and Great Britain. That was team standings after the 2 short laps, but we're well into this third long lap now.
Ja, ze zitten nu in de kameenrook, dus komen elke heuvelachtig gedeelte in. Er zijn er altijd 15, 16 mensen die allemaal naar voren in een race rijden. We hebben natuurlijk Gehring, we hebben Oneno, we hebben Scheren, we hebben Datke. We hebben daar ook bij zitten de Poolse, we hebben natuurlijk eerste Belgische Scarlett.
Well, we've already had one Swiss individual medalist, with Delish Klarbas taking the silver in the under-20 race. Yara Scherer running very well at this stage. You can see, well, Muller is starting to move up now, the tall, blonde-haired figure of the Danish steeplechaser.
Germany, Spain, from Turkey in the lead at this moment, and it's Yara Scherer from Switzerland, first out of that corner.
There doesn't seem to be too much working together. There's not been much communication between Datke and Gehring. They're just running their own races, it seems. Matilda Senechal still up there, running very well. And after showing in the early part of the race, now seeing again Pizik-based US University of San Francisco, the Pole. So made a big trip back here. Finished 12th in the NCAA cross-country championships just a few weeks ago. Had a very, very high-quality affair.
Amy Griffiths hitting the front, having just discarded her gloves.
It's also good for the team standings of Team Germany. Also there is Yara Scherer from Switzerland. And what a great race of the 2 German runners in front. Nou, kun jij dan later met doorkomen. Vanessa Scarlett.
So there we go, the splits, 3,500 metres, 3 laps undergone. Gehring leading the way for Germany. Poppy Tank just slipping back a little bit after showing well in the early part of the race. And there's Moller. Well, the Danes came here, obviously doing a lot of promotion for the IAAF World Cross Country Championships at the end of March. It's been a very long time. I think the last Danish gold medal was Carsten Jorgensen back in 1997, when he was a very surprising winner of the senior men's race on that occasion in Portugal. There we go, flicking through the women running in the 40s at the moment. It's still Anna Gehring leading the way. Starting to breathe a little bit hard at this stage. Still working very well. 3 Spaniards in the top 15 as well. That may have an impact on the team standings later. But at the moment it's still Gehring, Emily Griffiths, Datke of Germany, 2 Germans in the top 4. Chiara Scherer having a great race. We hadn't really tipped her as one to watch, but she's doing extremely well. Veronika Pizik, that's the top 5, and now Muller, having moved steadily up over the course of the last kilometre and a half, is now part of the leading pack. Matilda Senechal digging in, still up there. Also seeing moving up, Celia Anton.
Yes, and Spain are only 1 point behind Britain in the team standings, so if she moves further up, that's very crucial for the team. Muller was one of those athletes, Phil, who I didn't realise how good a season she'd had. She competed in the European Championships, steeplechase with distinction. She was selected to run the IAAF Continental Cup, so she had a long season, and yet since then she's won several big cross-country races, including the Nordic Championships in Cardiff.
Well, Gehring now surging, trying to get away from the chasing group with Anna-Emilie Moller. Just a couple of metres back, and then Chiara Scherer, Miriam Datke, Amy Griffiths. That's the top 5 at the moment. Veronika Pizik and Matilda Senechal. So those 7 now starting to definitely get away, and this is quite a decisive surge now from Anna Gehring. Still about another 4 minutes of running to go, though. Has she made her big effort too early? She's got some very talented runners behind her. Gehring was 12th in last year's race. Almost certainly going to be doing significantly better this year. Well, Moller now starting to put a bit of daylight between herself in 2nd place and Scherer in 3rd. Well, these are very, very treacherous conditions, but she's got clear sight of the course now. She goes over this double hump. Gehring at this stage looking very, very relaxed indeed. Now you can see the leading 6 athletes, long shot there. Well, got to be careful around this bend. It's starting to cut up, and it's quite a tight bend.
And that's a serious increase in speed at the front of the race, Phil, from a 4:53 lap to a 4:40 lap.
Yes, I think you can see that. Gehring now just over a kilometre to run. Well, last year Germany dominated this race, 1st and 2nd. Helena Ray and Constance Klausterhaufen. They're not here, but Anna Gehring is certainly flying the flag for Germany and doing it with aplomb. Last year, Germany also took the silver medal in the team standings. And it was Gehring who was their second scorer. Sorry, I should say third scorer. So she's got one medal already from the under-23 races from 12 months ago. Looking as though she's now well on her way towards another medal. Still running very, very confidently as we're by the lake here in the Beeksgebergen Wildlife Park.
And in the team standings, it's very, very tight still between Spain and Great Britain. They've both got 3 runners in the top 15. Watch for Spain and Britain changing positions in those last half of this lap. It's going to make all the difference as to where the team gold medal goes.
Germany not that far back in the bronze medal position as well at the moment, but it's still Germany at the front in the individual race thanks to Anna Gehring. The 22-year-old German now, well, she's probably got just a few hundred meters of running to go, just over about a minute of running. Anna-Emilie Moller of Denmark in second place. Chiara Scherer, the surprise of this race. She's doing extremely well, Scherer. Gehring now, well, can't relax. She's got a runner as talented as Anna-Emilie Moller behind her, even though she's got quite a significant 10, 12 meter gap. She can't relax. You can see Moller doing her best to try and close her. You can hear the Danish supporters, and there's a large contingent here ahead of the World Cross Country Championships, urging Moller to try and close the gap on Gehring. And she is closing the gap, but there's only just over 100 meters or so of running to go.
And might history repeat itself, because Gehring was second in the 2016 under-23, out-kicked by Sofia Onui of Poland, who we know has a great kick.
Well, Muller's now got right up on the shoulder. She's within striking distance of Gehring. This is going to be a tremendous battle. And just a few meters away from turning into the home straight. This is going to be a battle right the way through to the line. Chiara Scherer now looking very comfortable in the bronze medal position, but the gold and silver still very much to be decided. Gehring still in the lead. Will she need another gear? Has Moller got another gear? Now it's Moller coming through on the inside, sprinting for the line. They're just coming into sight of the line now. 50 meters to go. Moller gritting her teeth. Gehring's going to have to settle for silver. Denmark get its first gold in 21 years, thanks to Anna-Emilie Moller. Anna Gehring takes the silver medal for Germany. Well, coming through amazingly quickly over those final 300 meters. Well, Chiara Scherer takes the silver, takes the bronze for Switzerland. Celi Anton, as I was saying, coming through amazingly quickly over the final 300 meters. The Spaniard takes fourth, and then very, very close indeed. Just a second or two separating the rest of the top 10. Well, the Germans, there's 4 in the top 14 for the Germans.
I think Pajzik was third.
Yes, I think you're
Poland.
right. I wasn't quite sure what I was seeing there. But Pajzik came through incredibly fast. But I thought we were looking at maybe the 4th and 5th place. Just wondering whether Pajzik has actually lost her timing chip somewhere. Anyway, does look as though Pajzik has moved into the bronze medal. As we look now at the closing stages of the race. Yes, I didn't quite believe my eyes there, but it was indeed. We're looking at our computer information system, which is telling us that Pajsik did come through very quickly over the final 300 metres, because she came back from a long, long way back. So here we see the battle for the gold and silver, though. Denmark versus Germany. And it was Anna-Emilie Muller.
And you mentioned Carsten Jorgensen, the man they called the Moose, who won in 1997. She's from the same club. So both of Denmark's European champions are from the same club.
Gering. She has to be pleased with the silver. She did make all the hard work, though. But it looks as though, unofficially, it looks as though Germany may well be climbing on top of the podium in the team standings. So it doesn't happen very often, but it looks as though there's another country other than Great Britain on top of the podium for the women's under-23 race. Well, congratulations from her teammates for Anna-Emilie Muller. Denmark won't feature in the team standings. There's confirmation. Indeed, it was, as we originally thought. Pajsik of Poland does get the bronze, but gold and silver goes to Muller of Denmark and Gering of Germany. Veronica Pajsik moves up from 8th last year to the podium. Chiara Scherer, who looked, we thought, on course for a bronze medal, slips back to 4th. Celia Anton in 5th for Spain. As we scroll down the rest of the leading finishers.
She did the same sort of thing as Ingebrigtsen, didn't she? Drifted through on the inside and then kicked away.
Yes, I doubt she was looking at the at the men's under-20 race, though. She's probably warming up at the time, but yes, very, very similar tactics. I think Ingebrigtsen came from a bit further back, or started his kick a bit further back. But Gering seemed to be happy. We just saw her putting her arms in the air. Silver for Gering. And you have to say credit to her as well for really working so hard. Confirmation of the team standings. Germany, Spain and Great Britain. That's the 1, 2, 3. Still a photo finish with the third finishers and third and fourth finishers there.
But I don't think it's going to make any difference to the order of those first three.
No, but the points totals may change once we've got the confirmed standings in the individual race. France a little bit further back in 4th, and Denmark just 1 point behind France in 5th.